Some discoveries are meant to remain buried. Some secrets, untouched for centuries, are not meant for human eyes. But when greed, curiosity, or fate brings them into the light, the consequences can be catastrophic. Today, on Shocking News, we explore the chilling story of the Oracle's Eye, an artifact shrouded in mystery, cursed in legend, and feared by those who dared to uncover it. Archaeologists called it a miracle. Historians called it priceless. And soon after, those who touched it began vanishing, dying, or descending into madness. This is a story that proves some horrors are timeless, waiting patiently for the moment to strike. The discovery that should never have happened in a remote region of the Middle East, hidden beneath centuries of sand and ruin. A team of archaeologists stumbled upon a site that promised fame and fortune. Amid decaying temples and fractured statues, they unearthed a small obsidian orb, perfectly spherical, polished to a black sheen that seemed to swallow light. Inscribed with symbols no one could decipher, it became clear this was no ordinary artifact. Locals, aware of ancient legends, warned them to leave it alone. Stories spoke of an eye that watched, a force that punished human arrogance, but curiosity outweighed caution. The archaeologists celebrated their find, calling it the Oracle's Eye. They noted its strange qualities. It never reflected light normally. Shadows seemed to bend around it, and some claimed it whispered unintelligible words when held in silence. Initial excitement quickly turned to unease. Instruments malfunctioned, subtle accidents occurred, and a heavy sense of dread seemed to linger in the excavation camp. One by one, the team began reporting nightmares, visions of faceless figures, endless corridors, and eyes that followed them in mirrors. Yet they pressed on, convinced of their imminent discovery in history books. The first signs of the curse, the first undeniable evidence that the Oracle's Eye was cursed, came when Dr. Samuel Klein, the lead archaeologist, vanished without a trace. He was last seen holding the orb, whispering in a language no one recognized. At first, authorities assumed he had wandered off, perhaps injured in the desert. But when search teams found only sand, rocks, and footprints that abruptly ended, panic set in. Soon after, other team members began reporting severe illness, sudden anxiety, and violent hallucination. The orb seemed to provoke the darkest fears of those near it. One assistant claimed he saw a shadowy hand reach from the orb to drag him into another dimension. Another screamed of seeing his own death played out repeatedly while he slept. Attempts to move or contain the object failed. No matter where it was placed, in a locked vault, under concrete, even buried deeper underground, it always seemed to reappear within sight of someone in the team. Ancient texts discovered nearby suggested this was the Oracle's design. The artifact could not be possessed without exacting a terrible price. Historical records of the Eye desperate for answers, researchers began combing through historical archives. What they found sent chills down their spines. References to the Oracle's Eye appeared in texts from Mesopotamia, Egypt, and even Rome. The artifact had allegedly been passed down through secret orders, each generation reporting catastrophic events. Leaders driven to madness, entire cities falling to unexplained plagues, and armies slaughtered by forces unseen. The Oracle's Eye was not simply an artifact, it was a mechanism of judgment. Legends claimed it was created by a forgotten civilization whose understanding of the cosmos exceeded anything modern science could explain. It was said to reveal the future, but only at a cost. Those who sought answers for personal gain were cursed. Those who touched it with greed or malice were struck by madness, misfortune, or death. Unlike other cursed objects, the Eye did not merely inflict harm. It manipulated reality around its victim, and their stories were horrifying. One man, an archaeologist who claimed he had resisted its power, described seeing entire landscapes collapse while holding the orb, as if the world itself were reacting to his thoughts. Another survivor recounted visions of people he loved, but distorted. Eyes hollow, skin melting, voices replaced by whispers from the Eye. The trauma left them mute, terrified to even speak about what they saw. The most chilling accounts came from those who experienced prolonged exposure. One researcher, after 3 weeks near the artifact, lost the ability to distinguish reality from hallucination. He wrote frantic journals detailing conversations with entities that promised him ultimate knowledge if he would only surrender his soul. Within days, he was found wandering naked in the desert, speaking in tongues and scribbling incomprehensible symbols in the sand. Experts concluded that the Eye's influence was not merely psychological. It seemed to warp perception itself, bending the mind to the will of something ancient. something beyond human comprehension. Modern attempts to contain the horror, governments and private collector became involved, each hoping to control the artifact for research, power, or profit. But every attempt failed. Security cameras malfunctioned, containment devices shattered, and guards stationed nearby disappeared without trace. It seemed as though the Oracle's eye was aware of every attempt to study or capture it, adapting its influence to ensure it remained free. Some tried to destroy it. Bombs, fire, even attempts to smash the orb with heavy machinery failed. Legends claimed that the Oracle's eye could not be destroyed by physical means. Only total isolation and disconnection from humanity could suppress its power temporarily. Scholars proposed that it existed partially in another dimension, only manifesting physically when someone approached with intent to control or understand it. The artifact became a symbol of mankind's arrogance, a reminder that some forces are not meant to be mastered, no matter how advanced or intelligent we become. The unending terror and what it means for us today. The Oracle's eye remains one of the most feared artifacts in human history. Researchers continue to debate whether it is a relic of an advanced civilization, a supernatural entity, or something else entirely. Every new sighting reignites terror. Villagers near the discovery site still report strange shadows at night, whispers carried by the wind, and sudden vanishings. Some claim the orb calls out, drawing those curious or desperate enough to follow its voice. The story of the Oracle's eye is more than an ancient horror. It's a warning. Human curiosity has often driven progress, but sometimes the cost is too high. Legends that survive for millennia usually do so for a reason. And while skeptics dismiss the tales as exaggeration, those who have encountered the eye know the truth. There are forces beyond comprehension, and the Oracle's eye is one of them. It is a horror waiting patiently, judging those foolish enough to seek knowledge without respect, power without humility, or answers without understanding the price. The Oracle's eye across time, a trail of madness. The Oracle's eye is not just a single event in history. It's a thread that weaves through centuries of human suffering. Ancient civilizations recorded inexplicable disasters coinciding with the artifact's presence. Kings driven to insanity, empires falling to chaos, and temples mysteriously abandoned. In some cases, entire towns vanished, leaving behind only cryptic symbols reminiscent of the eye's inscriptions. Historians have traced its path through Egypt, Mesopotamia, and the Roman Empire. Each time it surfaced, it brought the same pattern of horror, curiosity turning to obsession, obsession to madness, and madness to destruction. Even modern researchers who study its legacy report the chilling effect of this continuity. The eye seems to remember its victims, selecting them based on arrogance or weakness, and repeating history with precision. Unlike a weapon, it doesn't act out of malice. It acts like a force of judgment, indifferent yet deadly. Some theorists suggest that the Oracle's eye exists partially outside time. It is aware of human history as a timeline, adapting its influence to prevent humanity from repeating mistakes or defying its presence. Every era has its own story, but the pattern is clear. Wherever the eye appears, terror follows. This makes it perhaps the only artifact in history whose curse is not random but systematic. Boundaries that, if crossed, can lead to irreversible consequences. Even today, the story of the Oracle's eye resonates because curiosity and ambition remain unchanged. Scientists, treasure hunters, and even thrill seekers are tempted by the promise of power and discovery. Yet, every cautionary tale, every survivor's warning, and every historical record points to the same conclusion. Some knowledge is forbidden, and some artifacts are traps for human folly. Perhaps the greatest terror of the Oracle's eye is not just the curse it imposes, but the psychological weight it leaves on those who survive. Fear lingers, trust erodes, and the mind is never fully at ease again. Legends warn that even if the artifact is lost, its influence echoes through humanity's collective memory. A reminder that some ancient horrors are eternal, and some questions should never be asked. The Oracle's eye is more than a cursed artifact. It is a testament to the danger of unchecked curiosity and the cost of human ambition. Across centuries, it has judged kings, destroyed civilizations, and driven the curious to madness. Its power is not simply physical or supernatural. It is psychological, historical, and eternal. If you think you can uncover hidden truths without paying the price, think again. The Oracle's eye is a warning from the past, a terror for the present, and a mystery for the future. Some discoveries should remain buried, and some horrors are best left alone. For more stories of ancient curses, unsolved mysteries, and terrifying artifacts, Make sure to subscribe to Shocking News. The world is full of secrets, and some of them are watching you.